Hi everyone, welcome to Icc Sports and our preview for the upcoming T20 series between India and England, which gets underway this Friday the 12th of March in India. Before we take a look at this series, just going to look back at the previous series played between these two teams, which was a test match series. It was a 3-1 win for India there, and as predicted, we know how strong India are at home. They've only lost 2 test matches now since 2012, and they haven't lost any test match series at home since 2012. So it was always going to be a very difficult task for England. They did win the first test match in Chennai, performed really well with a bat there on a flat pitch, got a big score in the first innings, and then took advantage of that when the pitch started to deteriorate. They managed to bowl India out twice there and go 1-0 up. But then India came bouncing back in the second test match in Chennai. This was a pitch that was turning a lot more, and India, we know, are really strong in such conditions, and they managed to win that match very comfortably. Then the third and fourth test matches were in Ahmedabad, in the new stadium there, the Narendra Modi Stadium, and again the pitches were favouring the spin bowlers, and again India were very dominant, both matches very comfortably. So there's a lot of talk about the pitches in this test match series, especially the pitch for the third test match. The talk was that it was favouring the spinners too much. We know that third test match finished in only 2 days, so that's never ideal. We would prefer a better balance between bat and ball, but these things happen. So my opinion on it is that, you know, as we know, it's very rare for a test match to finish in 2 days. So when it happens, it is really out of the blue, and it's not something we should really complain about. It's just part of the game. The pitches did spin a lot in general, and that's what you'd expect in India. Due to the weather conditions, you're going to find the pitches are a lot drier and will spin more. And same way if you come to England, you'll find pitches due to the weather here that are likely to have more grass and favour the seam and swing bowlers. So this is part of cricket, and it's never ideal to have a 2-day test match, but it's very rare that it happens, so we shouldn't really be complaining. And it wasn't just the pitch purely to blame for it being a 2-day test match. It was also the fact that it was a day-night test match, so they're using a pink ball, so that ball was skidding on a lot more, and a lot of batsmen were getting up to the straight ball, the ones that weren't turning. And as well, both teams said their batsmen didn't handle the conditions really well. So it was a combination of many things, that not just the pitch that resulted in that game finishing so quickly, but for the rest of the series, I think the pitches were good and what you'd expect to find in Indian conditions, and India played really well to win that series. So many great performances through that test match series. So start with Joe Root getting a double century in the first test in Chennai, and James Anderson and Jack Leach bowling really well there. Then in the second test match, it was Ashwin who played so well. He got many wickets in the match and also got a century. Also, Rohit Sharma got a fine century in that match as well. And the third test match, not too many batsmen done well there, as we know the match finished in 2 days. But again, the bowlers done really well. Ashwin and Axar Patel in that match took many wickets. Then in the last test match, it was a great performance again from the bowlers for India, Patel and Ashwin taking wickets, and in the batting, magnificent century by Rishabh Pant, and also a brilliant 96 not out by Washington Sundar. So now we head into the T20 series. So first of all, we'll take a look at the ICC T20 Rankings, and there we'll find England are ranked in first place and India are ranked in third place, so 2 really strong teams. In the head-to-head battle, it's 7 wins apiece, so it's been very close between these 2 teams. As we'll see in the previous 2 series, the last time they played was in 2018 in England. India won that 2-1. And the one before that, which was in India in 2016, again, India just won that 2-1. So these are 2 really evenly matched teams. As I say, the 2 of the best teams in the world in this format. So if we look at the last series that each of these 2 teams played, India's last series was in Australia. They won that 2-1. And for England, it was in South Africa, and they won that series 3-0. So both teams are in good form heading into this series. Looking at the squads now, in terms of team news, for India, Bumrah is being rested, and Shami and Jadeja are still out injured. For England, they're at full strength. However, there has been an injury doubt over Jofra Archer in the last few days. He missed the last test match. However, the news coming in is that he is likely to be fit for this series. So that's good news for them. We know what a great bowler he is. So this is a 5-match T20 series. All 5 matches will be played in the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad. In terms of the conditions, so we saw in the test match series, the conditions were favouring the spin bowlers, and I expect something similar to continue in the T20 matches. It's a little bit different with the T20s though, whereas in test matches we know batsmen are trying to build a long innings. You need to look for big scores, and you've got to survive and have a really good technique on such pitches in a test match. In the short format, they're trying to score as many runs as quickly as they can. It's only 20 overs. There's not much emphasis on surviving and defensive techniques, not taking the game to the bowlers, so you should still expect to see some good scores in this T20 series, but I reckon the spin bowlers will play a big part. As you would expect, as I said, in general, in Indian conditions, the spin bowlers would always play a big part. For the England batsmen, we know they really struggle to play spin during a test match series, but as I was saying, it's a different style of game in the T20 and one day international cricket, and they've been really successful in recent years. So we know they're the current ICC One Day International World Cup champions, and in the last ICC T20 World Cup, they got to the final there, and that was in India. So really strong team against spin bowling now in that format of the game. I think the key batsmen for England in this series are going to be Ian Morgan and Dawid Malan. It's not just about the power hit, it's about being able to accumulate runs and find ways of getting runs against good bowling, good spin bowling that they're going to face in this series. And I think these two players are the best equipped to do that for them. For India, I think it'll be Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. These two are world-class players at that sort of game. You know, they're not what you call real power players. They're great at hitting runs at a high tempo, and we both have great strike rates, but their ability to score runs is different to like how a power hitter would go around things. And I think England are really going to miss Joe Root in this series, because he is that sort of a player, and he's one of the best in the world. We've seen his overall record is so good against spin bowling, so I'm surprised that he's not been playing in recent times in the England T20 squad. And I think he would make the team much stronger. And kind of going into the World Cup that's coming up later this year in India, it would be a mistake for them not to pick him in the squad for that one. But yeah, he's going to be a big miss in this series for them. In terms of the bowling, so both teams have world-class leg spinners. India have, we know, Chahal, great record for them. He's really a big wicket taker, and it's a key thing in this format of the game, picking up wickets. He's so good at doing that. And for England, they have Adil Rashid, again, really good, picks up a lot of wickets. He's really underrated. I think he's one of the best leg spin bowlers in the world. Then in terms of other spin options, you've got to favourite options India have. They have Akshar Patel. As we saw during the Test match series, he's a really good left arm spin bowler. Also bats well as well. And you know, Jadeja's out, and normally you would say that would be a big miss, but Akshar Patel is such a good player that I don't think they're really going to miss Jadeja too much. And also they have Washington Sundar. We've seen he's a really good player. You know, he's done well in the IPL for Bangalore. He's done well in the Test match squad for India recently. He's been getting runs, chipping in with some wickets as well, and he performs really well bowling his spin during the power play. So that's a good asset for India to have as well. For England, their backup options are not as strong. They've got Moeen Ali. You know, he's a really good player, but he's more of an all-rounder. I wouldn't say he's really a front-line spin option. And there is no other front-line spin option in the squad. They've got Liam Livingstone. Again, he's an all-rounder, more of a batsman really than a bowler, as is Moeen. So definitely the spin bowling department, overall, India are stronger. So in terms of the fast bowling, as I was saying, Bumrah and Shami are not going to be playing in this series, so India are going to miss them. They've got a lot more strength and depth now in their fast bowling department, but still these are two world-class players and they will be missed. So the edge has to go with England, who have their best fast bowlers available, the likes of Mark Wood, Jofra Archer. They've got the all-rounders like Sam Curran, Tom Curran, Ben Stokes. So overall the fast bowling strength favours England, but as I was saying, the pitches are more likely to favour the spin bowlers. So, you know, that kind of balances that situation out. In terms of the batting, both teams have really strong lineups. So I'm predicting the top six for the teams will be for India. I think it will be Rohit Sharma opening with Shikhar Dhawan, then Virat Kohli in at 3, KL Rahul 4, Rishabh Pant 5, Hardik Pandya 6. For England, I think they'll open with Jason Roy and Josh Butler, with Johnny Bairstow in at number 3, Dawid Malan in at 4, Ian Morgan in at 5, and Ben Stokes in at 6. That's a really strong top 6 for both teams. And also both teams have good all-rounders. So as I was saying to you, with India they have Akshar Patel and Washington Sundar. So that'll give them strength and depth in their batting. For England, they have the likes of Sam Curran and Tom Curran, good hitters as well in the T20 format. So both teams have really strong batting lineups. The edge I'd give will be slightly to the Indian batsmen, again just because of their playing in their home conditions. They are slightly the better players of spin bowling, and that, for me, that reason I'm giving them the edge there. So as you can see, it's really close in terms of the lineups, and you know, to pick a winner is a very difficult one. But for the reasons I was saying, I think they've got this slightly better strength in the batting in these conditions and better strength for the spin bowling in these conditions. So I'm going to go for India to win the series. And my correct score prediction for this one is 4-1 to India. Thank you. That's all for me. Please remember to subscribe, like and share. Bye.